President Fu Manchu by Sax Rohmer, 1936. A version for the New Model Theatre by Mr. Poulter. On Radio NYKO tonight, we are pleased to welcome Abbot Dom Patrick Donegal from the Catholic Society of the Holy Thorn, who is going to speak on behalf of the presidential candidate, Dr. Arwen Prescott, and the Brotherhood of Natural Equality. Over to you, Dom Patrick Donegal. Thank you. A very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of this great United States of America, and most importantly of all, voters. The coming presidential election will be one of the most crucial in our nation's history. But if the Constitution is to be preserved, if even a hollow shell of liberty is to remain to us, there is one evil in this country which must be eradicated, torn up by its evil roots, utterly destroyed, and Father Donegal, what's the matter? Are you unwell? We must interrupt this broadcast, as Abbot Donegal appears to have been taken ill. Here in the meantime is some light music. The Tower of the Holy Thorn Catholic HQ of Abbot Donegal. Stand aside, man. Let Federal Agent 56 through. Very good, sir. Are you James Richet? At your service. Lead me to Abbot Donegal. I am expected. Federal Agent 56, Father Abbot. Welcome. Thank God, Father. I see you well. But why am I imprisoned in my own HQ? A necessity, believe me. I have flown 700 miles from London since you collapsed in the radio studio. You are in great danger, Father, and I am one of the few persons on this planet to know its source. What was the warning you were about to broadcast to the nation? Well, God help me. I don't know. I can't remember. That's why we need the text of the speech. It has information they don't want the nation to know about. Do you really believe that I'm a victim of an attempt to control my mind and suppress this information I've forgotten? Not an attempt, Father, a success. You are lucky to be alive, and so is Dr. Prescott. And do you think my secretary Richet is involved? We shall see. And you surely don't think that the rival presidential candidate Harvey Bragg is behind all this? Harvey Bragg, popularly known as the Bluebeard of the backwoods. My dear Abbot Donegal, Harvey Bragg is a small pawn in a bigger game. His war cry, America for every man and every man for America, is flashing like a fiery cross through the country. Harvey Bragg is a true product of his age, and he is backed by one man. I followed this man from Asia to South America, from South America to North America. The resources of 3 European powers and of the United States of America have been employed to head that man off, but he is here. In the political disruption of this country, he sees his supreme opportunity. And his name, Mr. Smith? Dr. Fu Manchu. But for the moment, more I will not tell you, for your own safety's sake. Stay up here at the top of your tower until I contact you again. But I must take Mass at 8 o'clock. My first duty is to God. There may be times, Father, when you have a duty higher than that. Captain Hepburn and his men down below will do their best to protect you. Good night, Father. Take care. Captain Hepburn, phone Dr. Orwin Prescott, the presidential candidate at Weaver's Farm in Winton, Connecticut. Tell him not to step outside for one moment until I arrive. Leave it to me. And follow that secretary man, James Richet. I don't trust him. Right-o, Chief. All clear. Now down you go, Mrs. Adair, and good luck. That was Secretary Richet's voice. Ah, what the? Hey! Gotcha, now. Who are you and where are you going? My name is Adair, Mrs. Adair. And I belong to the staff of the Abbot. I have been working late, and although I know that there's some absurd order for no one to leave, I simply must go. What's in that satchel? Private papers of Abbot. I am working on them at home. In that case, give them to me. Please, please, for God's sake, listen to me. I don't ask you, I entreat you to let me keep the papers and go my way. I promise faithfully I'll meet you anywhere you want, and I'll tell you, I'll explain everything you want to know. All right, Mrs. Adair. I accept your story. Lieutenant Johnson will drive you home. Oh, thank you. Somewhere high above the streets of New York, Professor Morgenstern, the memory man, awaits messages. Between times, he sculpts the large head of a Chinaman. Have you had a later report from Base 8? The man known as Federal Agent 56 left the Tower of the Holy Thorn and is heading for Dr. Orwin Prescott's hideaway at Weaver's Farm. That report from number 35. This is number 12 speaking from Base 8. Managed to escape from Tower of Holy Thorn. Unfortunately caught by Federal Agent, but tricked him into letting me go. At regret, Federal Agent secured satchel with manuscript of speech. Standing by awaiting orders. Newly arrived from England, Commissioner Nayland Smith, or Agent 56, and Captain Mark Hepburn of the U.S. Army Medical Corps with other federal agents speed through the stormy night on special trains towards the home of presidential candidate Arwin Prescott. They fear for his safety. They are constantly harassed by Fu Manchu's agents, desperate to get hold of the manuscript. My God, Hepburn, I fear we are too late. Look, the door's open. We are federal agents. What's happened?
Dr. Arwin Prescott has disappeared.
And who are you?
I'm Deputy Sheriff Black. I have orders to protect Weaver's farm.
I know. They were my orders, and a pretty mess you've made of them.
A man can only do his duty. Dr. Prescott slipped out unnoticed.
Where's his cousin?
I'm here. He has been kidnapped because of what he knew. His footsteps ended near the lake, then there were car tracks.
It was my business to protect him, and I have failed.
I fear you have, Mr. Smith.
When did you last see Dr. Prescott?
Writing letters in the library.
Have they been in touch?
No?
Keep it that way. I must make a phone call.
The line was cut some hours past.
Damnation. We're in a tricky situation here. Hepburn.
They must have fixed the line.
Impossible in this weather.
Shall I answer it?
No, I'll answer it. Who's calling? How is it? I don't know, but they're asking for Sir Dennis Nayland Smith. What? Give it here. Who's speaking?
Is it necessary, Sir Dennis, for me to introduce myself?
Quite unnecessary, Dr. Fu Manchu. How did you get through?
Sir Dennis, you know me. Nothing is impossible.
My God, Doctor, I'll break you yet.
I trust not, Sir Dennis. So much is at stake. We have Dr. Prescott in our safekeeping, and Abbot Donegal must be silenced forever soon. Was it not your English King Henry II who said, "Will no one rid me of this turbulent priest?" I advise you to consider very carefully your next steps, Sir Dennis. We enter upon the last phase.
That was a cut in line. Quick, hell for leather to Abbot Donegal, because Dr. Fu Manchu only warns once. My latest disguise, a Salvation Army captain. There's a Salvation Army convention in town at the moment, so I can mingle easily here. We're in New York's Chinatown. I know that face. God damn it. It's James Riche, Abbot Donegal's secretary. And here in Chinatown, I was right. He's in Fu Manchu's employ. He was there, crossing the street and now it's gone. Impossible. But where to? Oh no! Greetings, brother. Hallelujah. How goes it to you and Jesus? Let me out of here. The Temple of the Seven-Eyed Goddess.
I am number 38, James Richet. I was told to report to Sam Peck here and rendezvous with Loma Dumas.
I am Sam Peck. You will enter the chamber of the seven-eyed goddess and await the woman Dumas. There, go.
Lola, I'm getting tired of orders from on high. I have a plan which includes you. You damned fool. Do you want to die so young?
What's happening?
The president is ready to interview you.
The president?
He who you call a newcomer, Dr. Fu Manchu. James Richet, I am displeased with you.
Who is speaking? I wish to speak to you face to face.
An unwise wish, James Richet. Only numbers 1 to 12 have that privilege.
I want a square deal.
You shall have a square deal. You will be given sealed orders by the number in charge of base 3. See that you carry out his instructions to the letter. Be gone.
Outside the Royal Athenaeum Hotel Tower, base of Nayland Smith and Captain Hepburn.
Go into the desk and ask if this man is in the hotel. Federal Agent Ex-Commissioner Sir Dennis Nayland Smith.
Okay, sir. My God. Ah! 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 The scarlet spots! The scarlet spots! Help! Help someone! Boy, go fetch Federal Agent Smith. Get along, Hepburn. Have you ever met with the like before?
Never. But that little box might hold the answer.
Here, what is this, mister? Some kind of new plague? No, it's a new kind of murder. Do you recognize him, Hepburn?
Why, yes, it's James Richet, Abbot Donegal's ex-secretary.
Asking for me by my full name, who only you and my valet Fay knows. This smacks of the hand of Dr. Fu Manchu and his ghastly sense of humor. Obviously, Richet had transgressed, and this was the devil doctor's grotesque form of revenge. Remove the body and seal the area. It could be catching.
latest report.
Received 5:10 a.m. The hotel entrance sealed off. Body of James Richer removed at 5 a.m. to police mortuary. Federal agents Smith and Hepburn still in their quarters in the tower. End the report.
Fix the recording. Attachment number 81. You are free for 4 hours.
Now. This is what I'd love to do to you, Dr. Fu Manchu. Over you go! Here's to the day of freedom when we meet face to face and I escape these chains which I am trapped with. This way, Hepburn. Sorry to disturb you, old chap. I didn't want to wake Fay, my man. He's had a very heavy day. Close the door and don't make any noise. Good God, there's someone in your bed. There's no one in my bed. It's a dummy. Unless I am very much mistaken, I'm about to be subjected to an attempt upon my life by Dr. Fu Manchu. What? But we are 40 stories up from the street. Remember, we are dealing with Fu Manchu. Now to business. Go round and hide yourself behind those trunks. Your job is to watch the window unseen. And where are you, Sir Dennis? On the cabinet above the dummy. Do nothing until I give the word. Now listen. My God, how can anyone get up there? Shoot that man, Hepburn. Don't move, Hepburn. What's that noise? I'm defumigating whatever has been left on my corpse. I'm glad you didn't miss our man. I've been trained to shoot straight. There is a light switch on your right. See on the bed there. Those things, what are they? They are of the genus Leptrodictis, same species as the American black widow spider, but with a deadlier bite. The same things that got Richer and left those scarlet spots. Good God, this man is a fiend or a genius, Hepburn. But he must have a senior aide. He has. I realize now that a certain very old Chinaman that I have come across in Liverpool, Shanghai, Port Said, and Rangoon is now here in New York. Do you mean old Sam Pak at Wu King's bar? I do. He was once the governor of a Chinese province in the days of the Empress, and the first Chinaman to graduate from Cambridge and Heidelberg. We need to penetrate Wu King's bar. There I'm sure the old devil keeps the doctor's dirty tricks.
respectable. But none of us are infallible, except me, of course. Yet you serve me admirably, Mrs. Moya Adair. Your will must be my will, or we shall part. You know, it will never part from you whilst you have my child in your keeping. Ah, yes, your lovely little boy. He is very well cared for, and you may visit him again soon. Here in the United States, I have found a crude but efficient organism that I can mold in my bid for world domination. Harvey Bragg and his League of Good Americans. Ha! And I have a new job for you, Mrs. Adair. I am sending you to Harvey Bragg. You'll help control him for me as his press secretary. Good night, Mrs. Adair.
The Park Avenue apartment of Emmanuel Dumas and his daughter Lola. They are hosting a reception for the presidential candidate Harvey Bragg of the League of Good Americans.
Captain Hepburn here, and my new disguise. Greenwich Village journalist. Good, hey?
Where can Bragg be, Lola? He's very late.
Father, I have no idea. He tells me very little these days.
Hi, folks. I'm really sorry to be late, but I guess Mr. and Miss Dumas will have been taking good care of you. To tell the truth, folks, I had a bad hangover. I've just got up. That's the truth. Knew I was expected to see people, jumped in the bath, shaved, and here I am. Boys and girls, I know what you want to hear. You wanted to let me tell you what I'm going to say to Alwyn Prescott at Carnegie Hall. Hey, what has Prescott promised and done? Nothing. I don't promise things. I do things. No decent citizen ever reported for work to a depot of the League of Good Americans who didn't get a job. America for every man and every man for America. Yeah.
A moment, please, sir.
Excuse me, folks. My secretary, Senor Salvaletti, needs me.
A lady to see you.
Urgent? Number 12. Easy looking? A beauty. Excuse me, folks. I got a lady wants to see me. They all do.
Miss Dumas, does it not concern you that Mr. Bragg's reputation might spoil his chances? After all, is he not known as the Bluebeard of the backwoods?
And what Greenwich Village rag do you work for?
Folks, I want you all to meet my new political secretary. What this little gal don't know about politics, not even Harvey Bragg can tell her. Miss Eileen Breon.
My God, it's Mrs. Adair.
Father Donegal is heading for Carnegie Hall in disguise. But which one is he? A roadhouse in the Midwest.
I mean to say, I know it's a bad time to see America, and I am a silly ass, but thanks to you, I know it would be stupid to push on tonight.
For my part, I have no choice. 20 miles to go. A sick call.
Oh, I see. So sorry.
Good God. What's going on? We're in luck.
Don't mean to intrude, gentlemen, but I need to ask you, sir, a few questions. Don't need to detain you, Father.
Oh, thank you so much.
What the devil do you mean?
We're government agents. Just a couple of questions.
Well, good night then. It will probably save trouble in the long run if you assist the officer.
Right, Hal. I'm obliged for the tip.
Okay, listen, Abbot Donegal. Why the funny dress?
What you mean, funny dress? Look in my pocket.
Uh-oh, boys. Says his name in this passport is Captain the Honourable George Fosdyke of the Grenadier Guards.
Quick, let's get out of here. Well, I'm damned. What a strange country. What's that?
Good evening, Abbot Donegal. A nice run around you've given us. We're federal agents.
This damn joke is getting stale. So who were the first lot?
Who? The first lot? Must have been the enemy.
And the priest?
Priest? What priest? Damn! That old abbot has given us a runaround again. At Fu Manchu's secret clinic, presidential candidate Owen Prescott thinks he has already spoken at the Carnegie Hall debate. Lola Dumas, posing as a nurse, assures him that it is tonight and gives him something to drink that he thinks will perk him up. Little does he know.
Sampack is all completed. Now to the other business. Bring in Herman Grosset, the half-brother of Harvey Bragg.
So you're the so-called president. It's funny my brother Harvey ain't met ya, but I stepped right into the office.
The circumstances under which you step into the office are such that if you displease me, you will find it difficult to step out again.
I know how to protect myself. While you're for Harvey, I'm for you. But if you...
No one doubts your loyalty to Harvey Bragg.
I'd die for him.
He'll die for you.
What? Hey, what's the game?
Prepare him for the operation.
Let go.
Bring him out.
What are you gonna do with me, you filthy yellow swine?
I'm going to kill you. But not before you commit one more murder. That of your brother, Harvey Bragg.
No!
Rise him up, Sampack. He's coming back to life. Now, understand, Herman Grosset. When you hear the word Asia, you will shoot your brother Harvey Bragg. The word of command is Asia.
I understand. Asia.
Asia.
Asia. No man shall stop me.
The word of command is Asia. Until you hear that word, forget all that you have heard before.
I have forgotten.
Sleep and forget. But remember that the word is Asia. Take him, Sampak, to Carnegie Hall.
The road to Carnegie Hall and the great presidential debate between Harvey Bragg for the League of Good Americans and Dr. Owen Prescott for the Brotherhood of Natural Equality. But due to Dr. Fu Manchu's interference, Harvey Bragg triumphs and Dr. Prescott is humiliated. Here he comes, flushed with triumph. Folks, I just know how you feel. You're all breathing the air of a new America. At last we are getting near to the first ideal form of government America has ever known. Which any country has ever known, Harvey. That's right. Like America, Africa, Europe, or Asia.
Asia! Asia! Die! Die! Die!
Ah, Herman! My God! Why, Herman? Why?
Get him. Take him down. Take him down. Protect Salvoletti. My God, what made Herman turn on his brother? It smacks of Dr. Fu Manchu's interference, but to what ends? It will make a martyr of Bragg. Surely Salvonetti can't be next in line. I must make contact with Mrs. Adair to find out what's going on.